I'm standing out here in front of this old Dodge pickup that I bought a few weeks ago, and when I bought this truck, it had lots of issues going on. Just for instance, the cruise control didn't work, the four-wheel drive didn't work. When you turn the heater on or the air conditioner on, it only blew out of the defrost. It didn't come out of the vents, at head level or at your feet. And I did a little research and got to kind of trying to figure out what was going on. And I found out that this thing has a vacuum system on it that runs all three of those parts. So I started tracing my vacuum lines, and as I got through there, I found two spots, each of them about this long, where the vacuum line had been chewed off by a mouse or squirrel or something like that. So I cut me some vacuum hose and stuck in there, and lo and behold, the cruise control works, the four-wheel drive works, where the air blows out of the AC system is now working properly. Everything's doing what it's supposed to be doing, all because of those two little pieces of vacuum hose. And it got me to thinking about in our lives, that vacuum pump is the main thing that creates all the vacuum. It's kind of the star of the show. Without it, nothing works. But in the same token, that vacuum line goes up and goes to a system that runs across the firewall of this truck, and off of that firewall, off of that system up there, it branches off, and there's a line that goes to the cruise control, and there's a line that goes down to the transfer case to help the four-wheel drive stuff all work like it's supposed to. There's a line that goes over and goes into the inside the truck that makes the AC system work like it's supposed to. And probably the least, the least important, but obviously very important part of the whole system is that little bit of vacuum line that's in there, those 1/4-inch lines in there. And, we don't think of them as the star of the show, but without them, nothing works. I can't move the four-wheel drive actuator up there and make it complete the path of suction to make everything work like it's supposed to. I can't take the vacuum pump from where it's at and put it up there and make it work. That little bitty piece is important for the whole system to work together in unison like it's supposed to. And you and I are like that, guys. You and I may not be called to be a great evangelist. You and I may not be called to be pastors. I've been called to be a Sunday school teacher, but you may not. But that doesn't mean you're not important to the church or to spreading the gospel for God. I want to share with you, this is in 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 22. It says, I'm going to read you just 22. It says, "No, much rather, those members of the body which seem to be weaker are necessary. And those members of the body which we think to be less honorable, on these we should bestow great honor, and our unpresentable parts have greater modesty." And it goes on there. I read verses 22 and 23. But what the Bible's talking about there is each one of us have a role to play. And no matter how small it seems or how unimportant it seems to you or to me, God put us there for that exact reason. You may be something that just passes through, just like that little piece of vacuum line. All that passes through that is suction. It doesn't do anything else. It's just a vessel for that air to go through, that suction to go through. What if you're the vessel, the word passes through you into somebody that becomes the next Billy Graham or the next great evangelist? Who knows? But it's very important. So no matter what your position is in the church, don't feel like you're unimportant. Don't feel like you're underutilized. You're exactly where God wants you, and you're doing exactly what God wants you to do at that time. Guys, I love you. God bless you. Y'all keep praying.